Hey guys, we're going to be talking right now about core values. So our company's core values are probably one of the most important things to me. I feel like our core values, when we first really thought about what makes our company unique and what makes the people that we employ unique, like truly unique, what makes us different from anybody else, we really sat down and thought about, well, what are like the 4 values that would really make us stand out from any other clinic out there? What are the values that we see in a therapist that make us like one of a kind? And these are what we came out with. So these are our company's core values. You guys should see these in your clinic. Every clinic should have a copy of the core values hanging on the wall near the employees area. But I'm going to go over them with you guys. So each of them they have like one core value, and then they'll have 2 little, like maybe 1 or 2 sentences about kind of like what that core value really means to us. So the first one is going to be wow. So how can you create like wow service? How can you wow our customer? And that's kind of really what we kind of have like a running joke about, like, oh, I really wowed that person. It's like, how can we create service that's so awesome, so far beyond whatever anybody could have ever expected of us? So for instance, a story that I love to tell about this is we have a patient that comes all the way from Virginia Beach. His mom brings him up. He has an acquired brain injury. He was in the National Guard. He was standing guard outside of I think it was the Pentagon. But someone came up and they shot the 2 guards point blank. He was shot 9 times, and he lost so much blood that he acquired a brain injury, but he was predominantly shot in the gut. And just a horrible story. And his mom was his primary caregiver now, and she was looking to come to our facility to get him treated. And she didn't know the first thing about taking him out into the community. He'd only ever been into his rehab, out of the rehab into her house. And now all of a sudden she was trying to take him basically on a week vacation to Carroll County, Maryland. And she hadn't thought about, what does the bed look like underneath of the bed? Is it a box spring bed? Is there risers underneath the bed? Is she going to be able to fit the Hoyer lift under the bed? She didn't think about what she would eat while she was here or anything like that. She was just so focused on getting him here for therapy. And our front desk receptionist, by the time she got to us, she was literally hugging us because we had worked with her so much to try to figure out all those nuances, things that she never would have thought of. But because we had a family member that had a disability, because we've been in this position, we knew what she would be going through, and just adding that support to her literally made her come into our facility hugging us. So that's the type of wow experience that we're talking about. What can you do to go above and beyond the call of duty? The other aspect of that is going to be create fun and a little weird. So the opposite of fun and weird is boring and normal. And that is every other physical therapy clinic out there. So what can you do in your day, whether you're the front desk receptionist, whether you're in marketing or you're a therapist, whatever you're doing, what can you do to go above and beyond the call of duty and create fun and a little bit of weird? So we love that weird aspect. Maybe it's Movie Quote Friday, where we're quoting movies all day and trying to have patients and staff figure out what it is that you're quoting, whether it's dancing or acting goofy, whatever it is, just going above and beyond and creating that fun, memorable experience that patients want to go home and talk about at the family dinner table, So the next one is going to be unity. And the tagline here is clean the shed and protect the goal. So when I talk about unity, what I look at unity as is a team. So if you've ever played sports, if you've ever played any kind of game that requires a team, it's a team working together, picking up the slack from the other members, coming together and creating just a beautiful representation of what unity can look like in the workplace. So the first one's protect a goal. I love the analogy of the soccer player I played soccer in college and all throughout my life, so it's probably why I choose soccer. But if you imagine it's a goal kick, and the opposing team kicks the ball, and I'm standing in the goal, and the goalie's standing in the goal. And here comes the ball, it's coming up, and the other team's trying to get it into the goal. And here comes this guy, and he heads the ball, and it's coming right at me. And the keeper had ran out to try to punch it away, and he just missed it. And the ball's coming right at me now, and I'm the only thing standing between the goal and the ball. And right at the last second, I move aside, and I let that ball go straight into the goal. And the goalie comes running over, and he's like, dude, what the heck? What? You were right there. You could have stopped the ball. Why didn't you stop the ball? And I said, it's not my job. You're the goalie. You're the person that should have been here. You were out there doing Lord knows what, and you should have been in the goal guarding the ball. That sounds totally absurd, but we see that in the clinic all the time. How many times will I be walking back and I see, maybe Mike trying to reach for something, and he's got a patient, and he's trying to keep the patient steady, and he's trying to reach for the gate belt or something, and I kind of just put my blinders on and just keep on walking, and then I head to the bathroom, or I head and do whatever it is that I need to do. Meanwhile, it's like, man, what is it about that doesn't allow me to go and help him? And it's not that I don't want to, it's that I'm not finding the opportunity to help. So it's just being about mindful and awareness about, if you see trash on the ground, pick it up. If something's out of whack, help. If someone's trying to transfer someone and they're struggling, help them. It's like, let's pitch in as a team and work together to achieve the goal, which is being there for our patients, seeing our patients go from sitting in a wheelchair to walking. Those are the types of things that we're working on. So the next one is going to be passionate. So, and the taglines here are grow and learn, and then invest in people. So passionate to me is one of the things that gets us into this field. One of the things that I love to talk about in this core value is there's so many people these days that don't have any passion, and they think that passion is just falls on them. Like it's something that just happens to you. But passion is an action. It takes action to be passionate about something. I didn't get good at soccer because I sat around and waited for soccer to get good on me. I got good at soccer because I was passionate about soccer. I loved going outside in the backyard. I loved trying to learn how to juggle and how to do moves, and then I loved to practice, and then eventually I started getting good at soccer. That's how passion works. Passion is the fire that ignites underneath of you, that pushes you towards your end goal, your end desire. And if you're not passionate about work, if you're spending 40 hours a week somewhere and you're not 110% passionate about working, then what are you doing? Come on, you will spend something crazy, half your life working. And it's like, if you're spending that much time working and you're not 110% passionate about what you're doing, then find another career. Really, that's what it comes down to. You need to find another career because life is way too short to be unhappy. So that's the first one, be passionate. The other one, the taglines in here were pursue growth and learning. So Benjamin Franklin has a quote that I absolutely love. Being ignorant is not so much a shame as being unwilling to learn. So what that means is there's 4,000 different types of muscular dystrophy. If a patient calls and the mom asks, have you ever treated Lambda-2 muscular dystrophy? And you're unwilling to learn, that's the shame. But if you tell her, hey, yeah, we treat muscular dystrophy all the time. Did you know there's 4,000 different types? You probably didn't. Well, your son or daughter probably has Lambda-2 muscular dystrophy. It's a very rare form. Let me do a little bit of research so that by the time you come here, I understand exactly how they're going to present. Do I know muscular dystrophy? Yes. Do I know physical therapy? Yes. Do I know the Lambda-2 muscular dystrophy? Not so much. I just need a little bit of time to study up on it. That's the type of mentality that we have here at Therafit. The other one is investing in people. So what can you do to invest in yourself and others, right? So it's not just learning to learn for learning's sake, but it's how can I invest in myself to grow myself as an individual? What books are you reading right now? What are you doing to learn about yourself? What are you doing to learn about how people think or how they interact or how to make goals for yourself or how to make a plan for the future for yourself? What about budgeting? Just all these things that are internal to yourself that you can work on to grow yourself as a human. That's how you hit the goals that you want in the future. The last one is going to be intentional. So I love the word intentional. To me, it's just an amazing word. I actually, every year I pick a word that I'm going to focus on. And last year my word was actually intentional. So what can I do to make sure that everything that I'm doing is intentional? So there's this idea of being where you are, being where your feet are, you know? How can I be intentional where I am today? At work, at home, with my family, with my kids, with my friends. What can I do to be intentional? And the mundanity of therapy, just like, oh, it's another back injury coming in, or hey, this, you know, it's a guy with a stroke. I'm going to do the same thing that I did with the last one. You know, that can be so overwhelming, and you can just get into this rut. But being intentional with your treatments. These are people that are giving you an hour of their day. They're giving you 2 hours of their day. They're giving you 30 minutes of their day. However long it is, they're giving you their time. You're giving them your time. How can you be intentional with that time? You're not just doing the same old thing. You're being creative. You're being unique. You're being fun and a little weird, and you're pulling this all together to create treatments that are just amazing and awesome, and experiences that people will love. And that's how we see results. The other aspects of this is be unique, creative, and honest. So when I think about the unique creative portion, 100% is going to be geared towards your treatments. Be unique, be creative, be fun, be intentional. This is the type of therapy that we do at Therafit. The last part of that is be honest. So it's be honest with your treatments. Make sure you're billing adequately. Make sure you're doing due justice to your profession. But also make sure you're being honest with us. If you have an issue, come to us. Go to your supervisor. Go to whoever. If you have a problem with another therapist, or if you have a problem with a staff member, go to them. Do not gossip. That is the one seed that, when it gets into an organization, can fester, can create doubt, can create resentment, can create issues beyond comprehension. When you have an issue, you go straight to that person about it and create an environment that's conducive to solving a conflict. Don't go to somebody upset and angry and with an iron fist. You go to them with the idea of, here's this problem, how can we fix it? How can we work together? How can I create safety in this situation so that we can both address this conflict? So that's one of the things that we don't really think about when we're being honest with people. But it's, you know, if you're not being honest with somebody, you're going and then you're telling somebody else about this problem. Oh, so-and-so, yeah, they did this to me. And now you're creating distrust, not between you and that person that harmed you, but now between you and the person that you're sharing this with. And I shouldn't have to talk about this, but I've been in this game for a while, and this is one of the things that, quite frankly, annoy me the most. And I've even let people go because of this very reason. If you're going around and you're creating environments with drama and gossip and all this other crud, it's not tolerated here. If you have an issue with somebody, you go straight to the source. You talk to them. If you can't talk to them, then you go to your supervisor, your direct supervisor. You sit down and you come up with a constructive way to address the conflict. But you do not ever gossip. You do not ever tell lies. I mean, I hate to even bring this up, but if you go to my children, 10 years old all the way down to 3 years old, you ask them what the worst thing they can do is, they will say tell a lie. And if you ask them why, they'll tell you because it breaks trust. Because to me, that's one of the most important things that we have as humans, is the ability to trust one another. I need to be able to trust you to be able to do the job that you're supposed to do, and you need to be able to trust me. Something that like when I say something, it's going to get done. So these are our core values. This is why it's so crucial to us. We need to create unity, intentionality, passion, and just wow our customers. So if you guys like one of the core values, drop me an email. Tell me which one's your favorite. I'd love to hear, and we'll look forward to seeing you guys in the clinic to be able to utilize these.